How are my glasses always so dirty? So dirty. No, it even got... Okay. Okay, now it should be better. Right. Can we see it? Okay, right. Hello. Maybe here should be better. I don't know. Hello. It's December 14, 2025. It's a Sunday. It's 5 minutes after 3 p.m. My battery is 36%. So while I'm gonna charge this Apple Watch, I will talk to you about the albums and a bit more that I love the most in 2025. So it's not gonna be my Spotify Wrapped, because if you follow me on Instagram and you were actually active, then you saw a story of mine, because I'm not active on Instagram anymore. But yeah, you saw my most favorite songs and my most favorite artists, but it's not gonna be that. It's gonna be album, because in a world, in a society, right, where we just consume songs one after the other, boom, 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 I feel like we kind of lost the act of focusing on one album, and not an album as a collection of songs, but an album as a whole process that it's actually going through. People used to call it concept album back in the days, like we're talking 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And now I feel like the concept album is not a thing anymore, and not even the word concept album is even used. So I thought, you know what? Let me, is this bright even too light? Is this light even a bit too bright? Maybe it should go, is it better? I like it better, a little bit better. But yeah, so I have a collection of 5, I came up with 5 albums that I listen to the most, or not even that I listen to, but that I very much enjoy, because I don't think I listen to albums that much. Well, I do enjoy listening to albums, but say I'm on the bus, I don't listen to an album. I listen to an album when I have time to just let it go. And that's when I listen to albums. So it's not that much time in my life, but I still take some time to just listen to albums, and not just scroll through albums, but actually listen to. So I have to say, I had an idea of doing 5 albums, because it's gonna be a bit different. It's actually gonna be 8, 9, kind of. It depends how you see it. So we're not gonna go by release date. We're gonna go by the ones I enjoyed. I wouldn't say the least to the most, but like from the ones that I very enjoyed to the one that I actually got obsessed. Okay, so this is the order. The first one is, I'm gonna look there because that's where I have my laptop. Actually, do you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna sit here, but I don't think you can hear me. But I will try. The first one is, no, never mind. I don't think you can hear me. I have to be closer. But I will keep my laptop here. So the first one is Adagio from Stella. Stella written with the Greek sigma. And that's the whole thing. That's basically very much Greek vibes. It was all recorded. Well, there is some bits and bobs of electronic music, but it's very much acoustic based. This is why it's not the most obsessed, but still, because it's acoustic, people who know me know that I'm not the biggest fan of acoustic music, and I'm a fucking nerd and obsessed for electronic stuff. But still, I have to say that one was very, very, very well done. It's more chill vibe, I would say, but it's really, really Greek. Like, it's very emotional. It's warmth in a way, but here I describe it as it's late spring tank top on the riverside kind of vibe. So for me, I was in Utrecht. I was on next to the canal with my friends. They were drinking some beer, I was drinking some water, and we were talking about we're not really strangers and questioning our life choices. But not in a deep, sad way, but like, oh, you've done it this way, I've done it this way, oh, how come? And it's very much a chill album, but warmer, like late spring vibes, very much. Second one.
Onda Tonda.
Onda Tonda is by my favorite Italian producer at the moment, or maybe one of my favorites. So Onda Tonda is made from cherry wax, and if you are a bit into the vinyl club, you know that wax is another term for saying vinyl. I think it was released in August, or maybe even June. No, never mind. I think it was released in June, July. It makes you feel lonely, but it's also warm. In a way, a bit weird. Like you are more into yourself, but this electronic is making you aware of what is going on around. It's very, very well done. I really, really like it. The voices, the sounds, I feel like it's very much high inspired, like high H-A-A-I. Great, like one of my favorite artists of all time for electronica. It's very trippy. I don't specifically like listening to music on the way back home from a club. I like just staying with my thoughts. But if you had to listen to something that is not crazy intense as my playlist Birds Chirping on Your Wasted Face, because that's the one that if I had to play something and I still have energy after a night out after a club, that's the playlist I would listen to. But if you want a bit more chill vibes, Jesus Christ, then I would go for Onda Tonda. Onda Tonda by itself actually means, yeah, I didn't say the meaning, but adagio is adagio. Onda Tonda is onda tonda. So it's a round wave. I think it makes sense. Then we have Bicep. Fucking Bicep finally released a new album. That took so long. They didn't release an album with all the songs together. They dropped each song, and then every time they had Chroma 001, 002, 003, 004. It took so fucking long. They teased the fuck out of us. And then at the end we got Chroma 000, but actually it's 12 songs and not 10 songs, which is what you would expect. Great album. It goes from ambient to jungle to breaks to breakbeat to techno. Very much a trip through the electronic music scene right now, because it really varies through a lot of subgenres of electronic. I wouldn't call them subgenres, but I would call them music genre within the electronic world. So it's more of a trip. If you don't know anything about electronic music, you listen to that. Each song is a different genre. And just so you know, many artists in this world, they just focus on each genre. So imagine one artist trying to represent each genre in one song. It's a massive, massive masterpiece. Very, very, very well fucking done. I love it. Then we have Tranquilizer by Onytrix Point Never. And here, dear God, what just happened? I think it was released at the end of November. The genre is ambient. I love ambient, if you didn't understand yet. For this album, I would say it's an album. How could I describe that? Yeah, you can find yourself in the shades and the rays of light inside this album. I don't know how to explain it in other ways. Yeah, so my friend Marisa actually recommended me this artist, Onytrix Point Never. I think it was June 2024? Yeah, June last year. And then I texted her the other day asking, did you listen to the new album of Onytrix Point Never? And this is what she said. It took me a few listens to collect my thoughts on this album. This whole journey through, it felt very nostalgic. It felt like I was listening to my childhood, even though my childhood never sounded like this. Most of it dynamic, almost never constant. But once it becomes stable, the music sounded so familiar, as if I heard it before already. And then again, so much is happening, you can barely catch on. You're running through the tracks, and it sounds to me as if it was recorded underwater, which I love. I don't think I can add anything better than this. It was very much emotional. My response was to this, because it's a conversation, you know, we talk. So I said, I guess it takes patterns of songs we somehow are familiar with and builds on that. But yeah, it became warm at some point, but not warm like licorice, which I'm obsessed with. But we'll talk about it right after. I'd say warm as spring warm, not cozy warm, but the thin layer of warmth you get used to. I don't know. This was my feeling. Licorice by Hachi. This is the album cover, and the album cover literally says everything about it, because it's pure Christmas warmth. What else do you want me to say? It's Christmas. Look at it. It's Christmas. It's literally Christmas. The lipstick, the color, the vibe, the eyes closed. This is Christmas. This is the definition of Christmas. As Marisa said again, it's Cocteau Twins, but with words. I don't know if I can describe it any other ways. It's a bit more popish than Cocteau Twins. Anemoia, wonderful. It's a great start of the album. Then I really liked Sage. Not the biggest fan of the artist. I don't know why the song is called like this, but yeah, I really liked Sage. Carousel. Someone Else News. Lucid again is also really nice. Yeah, it depends your preferences, but yeah, it's very much Christmas. And I hope I can upload this video before Christmas. Number 6, released in October, from the album that I said many times in my life, this is the sound of the 20s of my life. And I was talking about The Slow Rush by Kevin Parker, aka Tame Impala. He released a new album, That Beat. I discovered that he was releasing an album at the end of August, when I was moving here for my masters. And on the way here I had a bit of a longer way, so I listened to a few songs, and then I go on Spotify and I see Tame Impala released a new song. And I go listen to that song, and it's a techno pop masterpiece. It's not even pop, it's pure Tame Impala. It felt like Tame Impala. It felt like Tame Impala had the need of communicating, bitch, I'm not just psychedelic rock. I do the fuck I want. Boom. End of summer. And it came in a perfect moment, because for me it very much felt like the end of summer. But that song was released mid-July. But to me it felt very much like it was released on that specific point, and it was amazing. So I think the album was released October, and right before the tickets went live, bought the tickets for the concert, 26th of April, I'm gonna see him in Stockholm. Oh, this shows where I am. Oh well, I'm not quite there. Not that far though. Yeah, so that bit. He said, I'm never gonna take again 5 years to make an album. Well, you hear it even in the first song. It's a masterpiece. I'm just gonna say my favorite songs are My Old Ways, which is the intro of the album, and is a great start. The intro, going in that way, recorded with the iPhone, and then going to masterpiece. That is actually very, I really enjoyed it. It wasn't clear. Then we have No Reply, which is kind of reggaeton vibe, with the beat on the 4/4, like off the 4/4. Not My Word. I thought it was very introspective. Then we get Ethereal Connection, and Ethereal Connection. Ethereal Connection. Ethereal Connection is the proof that your favorite artist actually does what the fuck he wants and not what his fans want to do. If you listen to his album, to his interview for Apple Music, the interviewer says, do you think this is what your fans were looking for? And he said, no, this is what I wanted to do. This is what I needed to do. If I wanted to do something that my fans were looking for, then I would have gone for Currents Part 2. Ethereal Connection, the almost 8 minutes techno track from Tame Impala, had to take place. And it took, because if you listen to the slow rush, you could feel that he was getting into techno. It was a matter of time, but it was fucking great. Absolutely great. And then people asked me, is this Tame Impala? Bitch, did you listen to the slow rush? Well, I got into Tame Impala very much into Tame Impala only with the slow rush. So I guess it makes more sense to me because I'm more used to that sound rather than the old one. It's nice, but it's not my Tame Impala. It's the old guy. 7, I don't think I have anything to say for it, which is literally my favorite album of the year. I think if you met me during this year, you know my obsession for this artist, Okelu. And it's not Oklu, it's Okelu for the album Choke Enough. You choke enough. It chokes you enough. It doesn't choke you too much. It doesn't just touch you. It chokes you enough so that you have a really good time listening to this album, going through your emotion, understanding what is going on in your mind, in your emotions, temporary feelings. It is insane. If you want, I don't think I can give you a description for this album because it literally goes all over the place. It has won so many for being the best album of Neo Electronica. The only thing I can say is revolutionary because it uses an instrument that used to be used only for sound design for films, for a very specific kind of genre, which is usually like previous to the 1600s or like 1600s and before kind of sound. So they used to use this synthesizer for sound design to recreate the vibe of 1600s, 1500s, 1400s and back. And she transforms it into a neo-electronica, I wouldn't say pop, but like neo-electronica ambient post-pop shit. I don't know how to describe it. It's masterpiece. Really, really favorite album of the year. Some people said that some songs were club music for introverts. And if this is club music for introvert, I only want that in my life when I go to the club. Because it's very much... Even the lyrics, I'm not the one who listens to the music for the lyrics. I listen to the music for the musicality of the sound. And if I listen to the lyrics, I don't actually catch the meaning, but my ear rather focusing on the musicality of the lyrics themselves, or the musicality of the voice and those specific words, the way they were said, rather than the meaning of the words themselves. So it's more about the aura of the words rather than the meaning of the words themselves. But in this case, it's both. This was the end. We got to 7. Honorable mentions, we have some EPs. One is from Malgrab, my favorite DJ at the moment, which is New York. It was really good. Especially the song The Way I'm Feeling and New York. The Way I'm Feeling is very much like a classic 2024, 2025 hard groove, which is really nice. I like to call it intense groove. It's a bit more than just hard, it's intense groove. But yeah, there is this playlist if you want to go into that kind of music. And New York goes from ambient, goes to some sort of speed garage to proper 90s techno, back to ambient, and make you realize, hey, this is the end of the song, you don't need any more, that's it. This is how it lasted. It is masterpiece. New York, actually, let me play that. I saw him in April. I saw this guy in April, at the after party of Digital in Amsterdam. He didn't play this song, but his whole set was crazy good. Another one that I really liked is You Are the Sun, I Am the Sky from DJ Heartstring. Listen, all of that songs. It's an EP, so it's a extended P. I don't remember what P means. You're the Sun, I Am the Sky. Listen to them when I was to the Warehouse rave, to the Warehouse Project rave on the 5th of October 2024. Massive night, crazy much night, very, very fun. And then when I saw that they released them, oh, this is the song that I was fucked up high and drunk. And I remember that it was just so euphoric. Well, really, really good. So if you like that sort of like very hard trance, euphoric vibe, You Are the Sun, I Am the Sky. Then we got Euroclub. It's a collection of Italian artists. They released on the 28th of November. Really, really, really fun techno kind of vibe. And then we got the last discovery, which I literally discovered last week, actually this week. Midnight Sun from Zara Larsson. Are you telling me that Zara Larsson, the one that I used to very much do not like because she's like the voice in the most famous songs at the moment of the summer, of each summer, are you telling me she made a whole new personality? She found herself, she became hyper Swedish and made that Swedish pop influence from so many things. You can hear that her sound is not particularly Swedish. She is Swedish and she makes it very Swedish in the videos of the song. But the sound is very much influenced from so much stuff. I found jungle in the song Midnight Sun. In the song Blue Moon, it's basically a drum and bass song. And it's crazy good, and people actually enjoy that in clubs. I found techno in Midnight Sun. I thought actually at the end of Midnight Sun there is, in the same song, there is hard bounce Brazilian funk. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? People are actually discovering, and then I asked some people around, what do you think about the last album? Yeah, she found her new self, that's her new personality. I think she found her sound. And I really, really like it. And it's very much listened to, at least here in Sweden, it's very much listened to. Yeah, so yeah, you know where I am. But this sound, this is jungle. And this is Brazilian funk. That bass is so fat. I think I can cut it here for today. These were my collection of albums that I very much enjoyed this year. 2025, it's been a great year actually. It's been a really fun year. A lot is happening, there's been lots of ups and downs, but music has always been there. And I'm very happy I discovered these albums. There is lots of songs you can go through. You can always go on my account and go through the albums, through the playlist I make. I already spoke through, yeah. I have a playlist for each vibe, so if you're curious about my sound, you can find it there. But yeah, I think it was actually a really nice year. I even bought an instrument to start creating music because I was so happy about the sound that was coming out this year. So I had to make my version of that. and I started learning about it. I'm not quite sure it's going the right way, but you don't know it's the right way until you make the wrong way, and then you realize, oh no, this is not my thing. Let me readjust. So yeah, it's been a really fun year. Lots of artists emerging, some other masterpiece artists releasing their stuff. I guess Tame Impala and Bicep are the big one, bringing it back. Yeah, this was my idea. I hope you can enjoy some of this. Maybe you didn't know some of these albums. Maybe you knew all of them, which I'm curious if you actually knew them all. How? Genuinely curious. Please text me if you knew them all. Other than this, that was it. I'm terrible at closing videos. I'm actually terrible. I'm good for the whole flow conversation. I think I can make it work. Yeah, so many stories happened this year. So many stories connected to these songs. Maybe one day I will tell. Either way, ciao ciao.